G'day, g'day, how you going? What do you know? They'll strike a light. G'day, g'day, and how you going? Just say g'day, 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 and you'll be right.
Now we come to the portion of the service before we do our Bible study that we address some end times news and trends that are happening around the world as it relates to Bible prophecy. Some of the news items that we continue to see popping up is something that would be kind of potential fulfillment in the soon near future of that of Damascus being destroyed, and that is Isaiah 17, which talks about this. So we're seeing more of this development happening. There was another airstrike that happened in Damascus airport on Thursday, where the Arab media reports the Thursday night claimed Israel attacked weapons depot next to the Damascus International Airport. And a report said that a series of explosions shook the airport. The news also reported that Israel drone attacked the airport, citing some of the reports from the Syrian military that attacked. It didn't cause serious damage to the airport or surroundings, and that there's no casualties. But we're starting to see more and more of the development of the attacks that are constantly happening in Damascus. So it's just a matter of time before you see the fulfillment of Isaiah 17. So this is something that you do see on a regular basis. Onto another area where you see more of a development of a one-world religion. And this is where you're seeing the Pope constantly meeting with the Muslim leaders. There's a report that came out this week that the Pope Francis welcomed the leader of the Muslim World League to the Vatican. He met with the Secretary General of the Muslim World League on Wednesday, a group that had been tied to the Saudi financing of the jihadist terrorism and the 9/11 attacks in 2001. Well, the 9/11 attack, as we know, it's an inside job. There's no planes that hit the Pentagon or Shanksville, and the destruction of the towers. It's a demolition work, not a plane crash. Same thing with Tower 7, which was totally not even hit, and it came down as a work of demolition. But that's a whole other subject there. But Mohammed bin Abdul Karim Alza, they always have hard names to pronounce, who served as several years as the Minister of Justice, is now Secretary General of the Muslim World League. He expressed the appreciation of the Muslim world for the Pope's fair position regarding the false claims that link extremism and violence to Islam, as well as his instance on the extremism is not divisive or distinctive of Islam, but is found among followers of all religions. But over and over you're seeing, especially with this Pope, how many times he's meeting with the Muslims. And you have the two groups in the world. So there's at least 2 billion people right there with Catholicism and Islam. So you can easily see they can join forces, work together to form a one-world religion. Not saying that it is, but I'm saying you're seeing pieces of the puzzle coming closer and closer together. Speaking of terrorism, Palestinian President Abbas says peace closer with Trump's engagement. This came out of Yahoo News on Wednesday, where there was the meetings of the UN General Assembly this past week, and of course all the other meetings that happen on the side. But Mahmoud Abbas, Palestinian president, and President Trump met together, and they were talking more through this deal that they're trying to make. The deal of the century is what they're working on and dealing with, and it's getting closer and closer. Since Trump's been in office, they've met over 20 times since January in all these high-profile meetings and trying to get this deal to happen. They're hoping by the end of this year. So that's moving this thing along quickly. So this is something that's been developing for quite some time. Every administration since Carter that I know of, I wasn't around all the other years, but they're always trying to work this peace deal out with the Palestinians and Israel. So they're getting closer and closer to making this thing happen. Eventually a deal will be made. We know that. Just how's it going to play out? But also this deal will have to be in place already for the Antichrist to confirm it, as Daniel chapter 9 verse 27 talks about. So he's not the one making the deal, he's confirming it, reaffirming it. So there's obviously something that has to trigger him for him to make this thing in place. I believe that there's going to be the Ezekiel 38 war that will probably happen to create this tension within the Middle East and the region for them to say, hey, the Antichrist needs to have the solution. We need peace here. Let's confirm this agreement. It got out of hand. Let's bring it together. And he'll be the one that people will look to as the man of peace and have all the solutions and answers. And then finally, I would entitle this as kind of a wake-up call. There's a residents in Orange County, California. There was a report that talked about the end of the world prediction interrupted TV broadcast. And that happened in different parts of Orange County, different cable networks and stuff like that. But needless to say, with all that is going on, the earthquakes in the various places, the natural disasters, the hurricanes, the pestilences, the diseases, famines, etc., the satanic activity is so rampant like never before. The satanic agenda of the LGBTQI movement is so fierce these days. And the amount of dreams and visions that people have been having about the return of Christ and the end of the world is unbelievable. And even having these sort of bizarre interruptions on television, it's a wake-up call for people to get right with the Lord. Before it's too late or before people are going to be left behind. And so we need to be alert, we need to be watching, we need to be ready for the Lord's return, live each day as if it were last, but we need to be prayerful and preparation for the future as well. What if the Lord doesn't come back this year? What if it's another 5 years? We still need to have that readiness, but also the imminency of the return of Christ as well. Amen? And that concludes today's update.